Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to Vixen After Dark. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. And today we are talking about having Jupiter in the sign of Aries. It's only right since we are in Aries season. It's going to end May 16th, okay? And then it's gonna move to Taurus. What I'm gonna talk about is, a little insight on Jupiter. I'm also gonna give you guys some historical events last time Jupiter was in Aries, okay? I'm gonna give a collective energy report as well. And then I'm also gonna talk about how this is gonna affect your rising sign and what house it's going to be in, what house it's gonna transit into as well. So let's go ahead and dive in. So Jupiter's been in Aries, I think, since December or November. It's one of those, you can look it up, but it's been a long minute. So I just want to say we're still carrying out these energies right now, okay? Of course, if you're a fire sign, since Aries is a fire sign, you guys are going to have, lots of growth in your life as well, okay? Leos are going to be traveling. Sagittarius, you might get pregnant. Aries, major possibilities there. And if you're living kind of like a risky life, like it's going to be, you're going to be more on the judgment side, okay? Capricorn or Cancer, you guys might get your own home, start your own business, or your career might just skyrocket. So I'll tap into all of that just to give you guys a couple of tidbits. So we all know that Jupiter is the planet for growth, for expansion, and lots of opportunities, you guys, okay? So while it's in Aries, which is a fire sign, which is considered to be very courageous, assertive, having lots of passion, acting without thinking, just really executing, going on adventures, trying new things, just always in a high energy, okay? So this is actually, I think this is really good. This is really, really good. This has been grand. I don't know if you guys have been already. Let me know what things have changed for you for the better, as far as since it's been in Aries since I believe November or December. When these two energies kind of come together, it's going to put more focus on, taking action, pursuing your goals, getting things done. I know I've been like, and just really kind of like seizing any new type of opportunities. Like, oh, someone's gonna, pay for a plane ticket for you in a hotel. Oh, you're on it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you got a new opportunity or a new book to read, or, whatever it is. It's like you want to dive deep into something and take action on it to see, or not to see, but if you feel it's going to assist you with your inner growth as well as your outer too, making some changes of that. So it's kind of like the energy of like pushing out the old and coming in with the new. We like that, right? So let's talk about some historical events last time Jupiter was in Aries and kind of what happened. That way you guys can come up with your own synopsis and your own predictions. When Jupiter goes into Taurus, I'll do another video on that, all right? So besides the global protests that were going on, we had the Arab Spring, we had the transition of Obama, bin Laden. We also had that 9.0 earthquake in Japan, which turned into a tsunami. And we also, had some good things that happened. So I have to let you guys know what did occur. So let's talk about it. Now, to start off with, we did have the first 3D printed car that was shown to us back in that time. Now we got to remember, this is around 2011, okay? Just so you guys have like a year time frame. Also too, we had Instagram that was born to allow us to voice our opinion, also show our lifestyles, what we were doing. I remember I had the old school filters. It was like kind of like a burnt toast filter was like my favorite one. I still like it to this day. I'm kind of like resorting back to bringing that back. I don't know. But that old film look, right? We also had, let's see here, the launch of Google Plus came out. Okay, so this opened up many doors for Google. It was like, this is when Google really started to really kick off as like a go-to to get answers. Nowadays, we're using TikTok. Also too, this is when Twitter became very popular. You go to Twitter as the modern day newspaper. It's like all the news was on there, and every magazine company, every every state that had their specific news, like Page 6, you know, New York Times, all that stuff was also integrating their own Twitters as well. So that's why everybody would go to Twitter to look for the latest news, and you know, info sharing was really popular. That started to kick off as well. Okay, so you see where we're going with the Jupiter and Aries. Okay, it brings a lot of great things too. Okay, as far as medical technology, you guys, we had the world's first synthetic organ transplant. Okay, so we can get innovative here, right? Expanding our minds and going beyond and trying new things. Also too, we had the first full body MRI machine that was created as well. And you know what's funny? I think that year I actually needed an MRI, so I didn't even peep that I had to use that machine because I ended up getting surgery that year. That's crazy. Okay, and without that machine, they wouldn't have detected any to see what was going on. Nuts. Also too, we had a very high demand as far as the job and career sector. They needed lots of product designers, lots of engineers, material scientists, and also lots of manufacturing technicians. Okay, so kind of like seize the day, like seize the moment, seize all of the different types of opportunities that are around you. Okay, so as far as the collective energy that we all will be discovering while Jupiter is in Aries. Okay, so remember, Aries likes to take major risks, very courageous, very independent. They sit in their power. This is that emperor type of energy. Lots of bold moves, and just being very assertive and adventurous, trying new things or going new places, right, to gain some new experiences. So normally, like typically, like if you're a person that you like to do the mundane way of living, you have your own set schedule and things of that nature, you've probably been trying some new things since the end of fourth quarter all the way up until now. Okay, you're a little bit maybe more enthusiastic about certain areas of your life. Maybe you gain a little bit more confidence by, you know, changing things up as well. Okay, you've been a little bit more focused, you know, in making the tangible steps that you need to make towards your goals. Turning, instead of having as a dream, you're turning things into a reality. So this is kind of lots of like, especially when you're so excited and you're gung-ho about something new, you just kind of like go all the way in, especially when Jupiter's in Aries. You go all the way in and see what happens. So lots of trial and error too. See what works, see what sticks, and what doesn't. It's kind of like throwing something and see what sticks, whether this is through social media, this is new looks, different things that you're doing as far as routines, like getting active, or your health, what you're eating, you know, many different things. Meeting new people, the places you meet new people, or how you meet new people. You could have downloaded some online dating apps and maybe started dating that way versus like meeting people face to face, or you could have did the opposite. Like actually go face to face and get off the apps, you know, however it pertained to you. So also to gaining a little bit more independent type of energy, wanting to kind of do things on your own. If you're used to always bringing your best friend with you somewhere, so this could have caused, you know, like I said, new connection, new faces, meeting new people, not really going with, you know, you always go to with your family, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your auntie, uncle, cousin somewhere. You kind of probably switch that up, or vice versa. Okay, you know, just kind of taking a little bit more charge in your life, really getting things in order and getting things done. Now, Aries is also associated with the sign of, what's the word I'm looking for? They like to be in competition. They love to win. They love to be able to do things first. Okay, so while Jupiter's in Aries, I know there's some competitive type of spirit. Like if you've seen online, you've probably seen 100 people trying to do podcasts now. You've probably seen so many people probably tap into the spiritual world now. It's like a goddamn phase of some sort. Like they don't think it's like real work. You know what I'm saying? Just so many things. It's like once one person starts something, it just bled and blew up. No matter what it was, you've seen it happen. Okay. But people were competitive, like, I want to be the best, or I want people to look to me for the information, and, you know, go over here. So you've probably been seeing that a lot as well. So really like people trying to outdo other people as far as whatever their niche is. We've seen that a lot, right? okay? So that they can be successful. You know, if Instagram reels are paying, Facebook reels are paying, TikToks is paying, like everybody was trying to get on all platforms trying to see where they can squeeze a pretty little penny out of it, okay? So, but it's a good thing. It's like I said, trial and error. You see what worked and what didn't. You try again in another way or another platform or whatever it is, just to give you kind of a visual example of what this energy could look like so that you can expand and grow, right? So on the flip side of that, we all know Aries can also be very impatient. They want that instant gratification, everything now when they want it. So people may have been very, I don't want to say lazy, but we've catered more to the faster ways of getting things. So we've been paying a lot more attention to things that are more convenient for us. Hence, new apps coming on our phone. We're door dashing dinner now. We're not even going down the street to go pick it up hot and ready. We're just getting somebody delivered it to us all the time. So it can look like, you know, always buying something from Amazon that you see online. You go straight to Amazon versus, oh, let's go to the store and go shopping this weekend. You know, it's like we've been really in the convenient type of an energy. So it's like you want to take action now, you want something now. It's like, so you could be a Prime member, right? Instead of like driving to go get something or anything that you can do at home. You probably tried to do as well, but things that you couldn't, you were like, we're taking a flight, we're going here, we're going there, we're doing this, we're doing that, you're coming with me, you know what I mean? It's that kind of an energy to take action immediately. Let's go ahead and talk about how this is going to affect your rising sign and what house it will transit into. Now, in order to find out your rising sign, you can go click the link down below, vixenafterdark.com, and click on the button that says free natal chart, download your natal chart. But the one key factor that you will need to plug in besides your name and your birthday and where you were born is the time. So go and ask your mom, your dad, if you can find out what time zone that you were born. Now, I'm gonna go all the way from Aries to Pisces. So let's get started. Don't forget, guys, everything will be time stamped as well. That way you can refer back to this if need be. Don't forget to click the like button or save it in a playlist. Okay. Aries Rising, okay? So Jupiter's gonna be in your first house, all right? Which represents your self-image, how people see you, like how you're presenting yourself to the outside world, okay? As far as like your physical appearance and also dealing with your personality. Whoa, what the hell is that? I'm sorry, guys, the sky is really interesting right now. Okay. So you've probably been feeling super confident, very optimistic, okay? You've probably been growing and expanding in many different areas as far as who you are now. People are probably like, you look different or you're glowing. You know, it's like they've seen a new light to you. And this is still gonna go on, but you're just gonna be more grounded once Jupiter goes into Taurus, okay? So this is a really, I hope you've been taking advantage of this opportunity because this is an opportunity for you to grow and really expand as far as focusing on your goals. You still have some time. We still have until May, so don't give up. And to really utilize this energy to make those positive changes, okay? Especially when it comes to who you are inside as far as your personality. It's like certain things may have not phased you anymore like they used to. It's like you probably have been developing, you know, a new version of you at this time. Taurus Rising. So Taurus is going to affect you as far as it's going to be in your 12th house. And your 12th house is all about spirituality. You know, it's all about your subconscious and the hidden matters. Okay, so you've probably been feeling way more reflective at this time. You probably did a lot of shadow work during, you know, this winter season that we just surpassed, okay? Working on yourself a lot, connecting to your spirit guides, your higher self, really engaging in certain activities that, you know, you want to explore or learn. That way you can find, like, it's kind of like going in your roots, you know what I mean? Like trying to figure out who you are, where you came from, like what superpowers you hold, you know, what are you really good at? Things of that nature, okay? So more on the spiritual side. So if you didn't meditate before, now you probably started meditating, or, you know, tapping into tarot readings, learning numerology, even reading books about metaphysics and things of that nature, okay? So it's still really a good time to continue working on your personal growth, Continued shadow work is like, you know, like a forever thing. So and just continue to heal, okay? And if you have gained some new patterns and behaviors that allow you to keep on certain rituals that you have, see what really works for you and what doesn't. That Pluto and Aquarius energy will help you shift that out real easy. You'll know, okay, maybe I don't want to do that anymore, but I want to do this now. Gemini Rising. So Gemini's risings, your Jupiter in Aries is going to be in your 11th house, okay? This is going to represent your friendships. So your friendships may have shifted, as I stated earlier in the collective report. So like I said, you could have lost some long-term friends, or maybe not hang out with any school buddies, or maybe you did find some and you reconnected. So it could have been either or. Expanding your social networks, okay? So going out, networking with people, meeting new people, and also really diving deep into what inspires you, okay? So you probably got some new hobbies going, okay? Or a couple of things that you tried that you never thought you would, all right? Maybe your social circle has grown or increased at this time. That allowed you to really connect with maybe finding a soul group. So this looks like maybe joining a Telegram chat or Facebook groups, Google Meets, having Zoom calls, actually going to meet people, you know, really trying to connect, going live with them, things of that nature, okay? People that are like-minded like you. And so it's still a really good time to continue to pursue your dreams, you know, and continue to make progress towards your own personal goals, and utilize the new connections that you have to really pick their brain and gain a broader, wider perspective. Continue to expand on those ideas. Pretty sure you've gotten some nuggets already. All right, let's tap into Cancer Rising. Cancer Rising. So Jupiter's in your 10th house, okay? We all know 10th house is about your finances, your career, and also your public image as well. So you probably have been experiencing many different jobs or different positions, or you're going from an old job to a new one, or completely removing yourself from the 9 to 5, starting your own business, or maybe you just don't work for anyone at all, and maybe you've been trying to start a business or trying to start up things. Like maybe you've been writing a book, you know, this looks like maybe you started your own podcast, maybe you're doing art, maybe you started a clothing line. It's kind of like you're still in the building bricks of that possibly here as well, okay? And there might be a quick transition now coming up, I'd say in the next 6 or 7 months, because Pluto right now in Aquarius is actually cusping when it's at a 0 degree. So it's still having the energy of the other sign in there. So you gotta kind of wait until it hits, like, I'd say like 15 degrees. And you'll start to really feel it. So I feel here also too, so lots of opportunities for you. You've probably been presented opportunities. I always say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So this looks like probably if you did a lot of prepping, you probably see all these opportunities and you're ready to just take on all of them and try and see what works for you. You've probably been doing that. If not, you've been just trying to find ways and see where you can advance and placing yourself in those opportunities, all right? But it's still a grand time for you to continue with your professional goals, as far as whether you want to be a CEO or move up in your current career that you're in, switch it up, end a job, start a new one, or, you know, end the job or utilize that money from that job to cater to a new business that you're creating. I'm thinking LLCs, EINs, things of that nature, okay? So really make progress towards them and take advantage of the energy. Leo Rising. All right, Leo Rising. So this is going to be in your 9th house, which represents spirituality as well, but mostly like your beliefs. It's like you've unprogrammed and reprogrammed. You've probably been really feeling a shift and like feeling like a new version. You probably had some information or knowledge come to you, whether it's from a person, place, or thing that you stumbled across, and now it's like, oh, I used to believe in this and now I don't believe that anymore. You know what I mean? So you've probably super been shifting. So lots of that probably put you in a rabbit hole of higher education, things that you really want to tap into to get to the bottom of things, to know the real truth and what resonates with you. Like if you used to be Catholic, now you're like atheist. You know what I'm saying? Like just to give you like a visual example. So you've probably been exploring many new ideas, reading probably lots of books, or listening, lots of listening. Try to tap into rooms or places to get some information, picking people's brain, being very inquisitive, and just to really broaden your horizons and figure out, you know, what new programs you want to program yourself with at this day and age. All right, so you probably really like been expanding. It feels like a Sagittarius kind of an energy. So more on the philosophical lane of things. So it's still a good time to increase your knowledge, of course. Like still always dive deep, get to know more. I feel like every single day I'm like learning something new. So explore new areas of interest and continue to do that as well. Virgo Rising. All right, Virgos, this is going to be in your 8th house. All right, so we all know that's definitely about your intimate connections. This is also pertaining to shared resources. What else? Transformations. All right, so you probably have been experiencing lots of growth and expansion within personal relationships. Maybe, you know, you were in a marriage and you got divorced, or maybe you were single, now you started dating again, you know, so that could have changed a lot. Maybe you were like promiscuous, you know, out there, one night stands, you know, checking it out. Or maybe you were just taking your time with each and every person that you've been meeting to get to know them, and also to maybe more intimate with yourself as well, like finding your sexual preferences, okay, exploring those. As far as shared resources, you probably, you know, if you have roommates or people that, or family members that you live with, or a loved one that you live with, someone that you're dating, it's kind of like, hey, how can we have like a joint bank account? Or what can we invest in right now at this time that will help us grow? You know, maybe coming together on some ideas as far as in those investments and educating one another. This looks like taking real estate courses together, you know. So this is still a good time for you to really continue to work on your intimate connections as well and deepen those, because when you work on your personal self, it's going to be easier for you to adapt to getting intimate or getting comfortable with getting intimate with other people as well. Okay, so continue to deepen those connections. Libra Rising. So Jupiter is going to be in your 7th house. In 7th house, we know it's all about love relationships. Not just love relationships. I would just say any kind of ship you're sailing. Okay, whatever relationships, partnerships, situationships, meals, snacks, whatever you want to call it. You've probably been experiencing lots of growth and expansion with, you know, your work buddies, you know, your loved ones, family members, friends. So you probably have been taking these partnerships to new levels. So for example, this looks like, you know, before it was just, oh, you know, kiki haha at work. Now it goes to breakfast dates, now it goes to lunch dates. Now it's like, oh, I'm gonna invite you to my birthday party, you know. So it's like you've been deepening. It probably was a trial and error mix to, you had to learn how to work with many different energies. So it's probably been a lot of work for you as far as other connections, okay? But also too, it's like you were also trying to, besides deepen the current connections that you have and make sure those are on the up and up, I feel as if you've also been meeting new people as well, okay? So continue to really focus on improving your relationships. What can you do better? What can you eliminate? What works for you? What doesn't? Continue to set those boundaries to create even stronger connections. That way you know what to look out for when you meet new energies, right? Scorpio Rising. So Jupiter is transiting to your 6th house. So this is gonna look like you've probably been working on your health, your daily routines, like what you do as far as your daily living activities, even work, that's included as well. So you've probably been experiencing lots of growth and expansion and switching up diets, the foods you eat. It's like you used to eat, you know, Taco Tuesdays. Now you're like, I don't eat red meat anymore. You know, this could look like you never liked smoothies. You never liked green drinks. And now you like green drinks. You know, it's like you could have been doing lots of changes within that area as well. Maybe you signed on to a group where you start working out now. You maybe do yoga or Pilates or boxing, or, you know, it's like you tapped into something. Or you've been trying different opportunities as far as in that area and what works for you. Maybe even some in-home workouts that you can do, and then maybe it's like hiking and biking, or, you know, because it was winter, so depending on where you're at, you're still trying to get something going as far as your health and do the best that you can. You're just more conscious of it, okay? As far as your routines, you probably were like, your sleep is all jacked up. You probably tried different sleep routines, morning routines. This could look like, you know, even doing like, oh, I'm gonna start doing morning facials and night facials, or having Sundays as like a spa day. Also to advancing in areas of work, or if you own your own business, you probably like, you know, stopped doing certain things and you started new things, or you're trying like trial and error with that as well as far as work. So don't forget, it's still a really good time for you to focus you know, on improving and gaining new habits. It takes 21 days to gain a habit and 21 days to lose one. All right, so take care of your physical well-being. It's going to be really important for you, because you're going to slow down a little bit when Jupiter moves to Taurus. So find something that you can stick with, that you have been sticking with, that's been working for you and you've been seeing results with. Next, we have Sagittarius Rising. So Jupiter's going to be in your 5th house. So 5th house is all about the creative energy. It's all about how you express yourself. So self-expression is key. And also to, even it could be bits and pieces of your romantic life too. All right. So you probably have been feeling really inspired to create. So maybe this looks like tapping into old hobbies and bringing those back up to the forefront to see if you still got it. As far as like maybe anything in the liberal arts, music, poetry, drawing, right, you know, things of that nature. Maybe even like physical activities as far as like getting outside, since Jupiter is in Aries, likes to kind of be out. So this could look like skateboarding, roller skating, you know, anything outside, like kind of activity, if you could, if you have been able to get out there. All right. Also to, you know, really expressing yourself in new ways, as far as now it's like before you're like, you know what, you never gave flowers to anyone. So it's like, let me surprise them with chocolates and flowers, cards, maybe let's put little sticky notes around the house, you know, whatever. It's like maybe you kind of like what you're ticking with, doing like different things, new things, trying to be innovative in that way, okay? So don't forget, it's still a really good time to expand on those hobbies, because those hobbies might be able to turn into money-making opportunities for you now that Jupiter's been in Aries for a while now. Maybe you started making money off certain things, but whatever hobby didn't work for you, that, you know, when you try to monetize it, you just keep trying. Try something else. Whether it's sewing, knitting, creating something, products, Amazon storefront, Walmart storefront, whatever it is for you. And to continue to really pursue your romantic endeavors as well. So we have Capricorn Rising. So Capricorn Rising. So Jupiter's has been in your 4th house. So you've probably been really dedicating your time and energy into home life, like worrying about, you know, your family, if you live with them, or always calling them, checking on them, catering to them, or sending them things. Even as far as if you have kids, like making sure they're on the up and up and they're taken care of, or maybe even finding out who your biological parents were, going to a rabbit hole with that, or, you know, maybe your kids were sent off to college, so you might have been visiting them a lot, or sending them lots of money, or just making sure they're taken care of, making sure that they can expand their life and everyone's good on the home front. So as far as like your family endeavors, you've probably been tapping into that and making sure everything is blissful and everything's just really good. So this also can look like maybe you, instead of Shirley having, you know, Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner at her house, you're like, I want to do it, I want to cater. So this looks like you like setting up to have family gatherings at your house, you know, so you could have switched that up as well. for this past fourth quarter coming into this new year as well. So it's still a good time to really continue to do that. You know what? You know, did somebody pass the baton to you? So now you're going to continue to keep having Thanksgiving at your house, or, you know what I'm saying? You know, continue to work on creating a comfortable home environment for yourself. Because then you're going to want to like chill out, and like, you're not going to want to do too much. So this looks like you could have been renovating your home, you know, maybe changing the themes in the rooms, you know, getting more throws and pillows, changing the colors out, you know, still continue to do those things. Okay. All right, so we have Aquarius Rising. So Jupiter has been transiting into your third house. We all know the third house is all about communication, all about how you converse with, you know, other people, as well as the way that you speak to yourself as well, okay? This can also talk about, you know, as far as your network too, and your learning abilities and capabilities and things of that nature. So you've probably been feeling a lot more curious, engaging in learning at this time. You've probably been reading lots of books or researching, maybe grabbing some new courses, maybe even tapping to mentorship as far as your own personal healing, or as far as maybe even learning from teachers and things of that nature as well, okay? So you've probably been connecting with many different people, like seeing who works for you, who doesn't. You know, you may resonate with this energy or that energy, whether it's like on TikTok University, on YouTube, you turn into a Google Scholar, you know, whatever it is, going to the actual library, things of that nature. So don't forget, it's still a really good time for you to continue to pursue your creative endeavors as well. You know, you probably gain a lot more intellect during this time as well. So just continue, you know, to develop your skills, your communication skills as well. That way you can learn how to speak and converse to other people, or even in the public. So this could look good for as far as jobs, or maybe if you're trying to like build something online, or just gain some type of presence as well for maybe something that you're selling, or maybe just to even get comfortable with yourself, like actually like getting acclimated to, you know, just getting out there in the world, okay? This also helps building yourself up. So you've probably been doing that. So continue to do that, all right? Because this will also help you with gaining more social groups as well, okay? So you probably see new faces in new places because of this, all right? Sometimes it's not all about what you know, it's about who you know. Pisces Rising. So Pisces, Jupiter probably has been Jupiter has been transiting in your second house, okay? So my Pisces Risings, this has probably brought a lot of financial growth in for you, like old jobs or to better jobs, you know what I mean? Higher paying jobs, or maybe gaining more opportunities. Like you might have a 9-to-5, but then you do have a couple of side hustles that you do as well, or maybe you've been creating some things that makes money as far as your skill sets or any knowledge that you know. So it's like you've probably been dibbling and dabbling to multiple different things just to grow your bank account, you know, or to gain some type of stability within your life as well. And also too, this helps with Pisces Rising as far as your self-worth, because Pisces Risings, you guys are like, you need to feel like you have some type of solid foundation as well that makes you feel a lot better in this world, because sometimes you may feel like you don't want to be here. So I feel as if here it's like you've been probably way more motivated to get things done, or to try new things, to see what actually works for you, what feels good when you're doing it, what you vibe with, as far as like you need to be doing something that you actually like and you care about in order to be making some money in. That'll help you keep going, okay? So you've probably been feeling a lot more motivated as far as your making some money, okay? And also too, that really helps you gain a place, like if you feel like you're building some type of space for yourself in this world. So your self-worth has probably increased as well during this time as well. So I would just say continue to invest in your skills. You probably learn a lot of skill sets based upon all the different positions or opportunities that you've tapped in, things that you've learned. You also probably gain lots of resources, not just from knowing other people, but the things that you've been dabbling into. It turned into a rabbit hole. Maybe you learn some other things and gain some more resources as well. So it's still a really grand time to, pursue your material comfort, because y'all Pisces, y'all like the nice things in life, okay? Like, you just have expensive taste. Like, wherever you go, you didn't know it was $500, but you picked that one thing and it was $500, you know, versus someone else probably picked something that's like $50. So continue to build that material comfort for yourself, and build your financial security, whatever that looks like for you. All right, guys, thank you so much for staying tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Don't forget, Jupiter will be in the sign of Aries until mid-May. All right, so you're probably still gonna feel this, just not as intense because the degrees it's gonna go into Taurus, right? Then you'll start to feel the Jupiter and Taurus energy, and I'll do another video on that. You guys don't forget to look out for my other videos as well, to dissect your natal chart. Remember, it's all about mastering ourselves so that we can look inside for answers instead of going outside, because we're gonna have many changes to come about. So look out for the other videos to come, and I'll always tap in so that you know what to look for and how this will affect you. All right, guys, see you in the next one. Peace.